Hi everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. This is the first podcast for the second year students in Section A of 2018. Hooray! So on this podcast, we're going to cover the weeks of January 29th, February 5th. I know in your questionnaires, a lot of you said you liked my jokes and my sense of humor, but we don't have any in these podcasts. We have too much work to cover. So here we go. Just some reminders of what the podcast project is about. Its goal is ultimately to help you survive. Hopefully you've survived the first year and a half of the program, and so let's help you survive the second year and a half of the program. Approximately every 3 weeks you will receive a new podcast, about 4 to 5 minutes in length. They are available for you on YouTube, but teachers will also be showing them in class. That's new this semester. You can get closed captions anytime you want by clicking on CC, and that's underneath the video. Remember that I registered you all for that fake class, and so you'll get an announcement from that class every time there's a new podcast available for you. And of course, the podcasts are tailored to your specific schedule of ECE courses, second year, Section A. All right, as you have discovered along the way, there are some keys to succeeding in CEGEP. Being organized is one of the keys, and managing your time effectively and efficiently is another one of those keys. All of this should help you keep up and stay on track with your work. But in order to do that, you have to write stuff down. And so if you don't already have a place to write stuff down about assignments, here is a list of options. You could use the Vanier Agenda, great tool. You could use another calendar. Maybe you got a new 2018 calendar for Christmas. You could use online options. You've got iCalendar, Google Calendar. You can use a lot of these online tools on your phone. And this last option, no, we're not going to ask your mom to help you stay organized. Not her job. All right, so if you have not already done so, get out your agenda or your calendar. We'll wait. You got it? All right, here we go. This is your schedule for the 2018 semester. And as I say, we are looking at the week of January 29th. The first thing is, for your infants and toddlers course, Donna would like you to read chapter 4 if you haven't already done that. And she asks that you keep reading along in the course pack. It's important to keep up with those readings for infants and toddlers. She reminds you that the in-class assignments will be on Monday mornings. Not saying there's going to be one next week, but Monday mornings is the day for the in-class assignments in infants and toddlers. For your language and literacy course, please read chapter 1. That's important if you haven't already done that. For your movement and music class, please bring your reader to class each week. Kathy wants me to remind you about that. And also, as you've already signed up for the song that you're going to teach, you better start practicing that. That Teach a Song assignment is worth approximately 3%, Kathy says. All right, moving on to the week of February 5th. In language and literacy, you've got a quiz on chapter 1. That's on Monday, February 5th. That also is worth approximately 3% of your final grade. And then can you please read chapter 2 in language and literacy? Stay calm and breathe through the nose. Always good advice. That's a lot of work for these 2 weeks of school, but if you remain calm, you will survive. Remember that if you have any tips to share about staying organized, you can always send me those. You could become a podcast star. Post your comments on YouTube. Remember that you can always get a full transcript of any podcast by clicking on a transcript underneath. And of course, stay tuned for the next announcement, because that will mean that a new podcast is available for you. That's all I've got for now. Have fun, everybody. Bye.